Okay, we lit it just like a fuse, so no need to pick and choose. Welcome to 2020, where we do more than interviews. The hottest be coming through, jumping knowledge on all of you. Get a pick of the front of you with the truth that they offer you. Yeah, hands up, we doing it for the culture. To give artists and businesses more exposure. Keeping it real and stay solid just like a boulder. It's about to go all the way down, can't get no lower. Chasing my dreams, know that they get no slower. But if I stay running, I promise they getting closer. Moreover, success my older. And if you're sleeping on me, I'm waking them up like Folgers. I told you, coming from the land with the tide roll. Well, we'll be on a whole different vibe though. We like to ride slow and keep our windows tinted so you really can't see us. Like Stevie Wonder waking up with his eyes closed. Yeah, got the kind of flow that rock the boat. On my 16s of pounds of dough. And if you figure you can hang with me on the mic, then grab some rope. Matter of fact, better grab some hope. While you at it, we keep it live, it's time to tune in. Turn up the sound on what you're using. It goes so hard, I think it's bruising. The show is 2020, no need to zoom in. Yeah.
So I had an interview that I did that I was super proud of. DJ K-Rock came to my house and we sat down and did like a one-on-one talk. We talked for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
And he was like, bruh, I love what you're doing.
Absolutely.
And I see where it can go, but you got to leave Mobile. And I was like, huh. And
do you have to?
Well, let me say this. He didn't necessarily mean like physically move out of Mobile. He mean I gotta go venture into these other markets and see other faces and shake different hands in different areas.
Make it make sense for you, because what it looks like for somebody else, for a long time, I thought that I couldn't achieve what I'm doing right now unless I left Mobile. Am I still very, very adamant that I'm leaving? Yes, I'm still adamant that I am leaving, but you will be surprised when you take those barriers off of yourself, what you could achieve right here, right now. That's the whole, be the billboard for I did it where I was. I did it where I was, because I think some of us want to stand on the stage, but we don't want to stand on the stage in our spot. We want to stand on the stage in somebody else's spot. What does your spot look like though? Because even if you and Jay-Z got the same damn goal, that's his spot on the stage, not yours.
That's fact.
How you get there, what you do is going to look different. And yes, he can give you all of the tips and tricks that he could possibly give, but you got to do it your way. You got to do it in a way that works for you, that looks like yours, that you can navigate in, that you can move in. And I do agree that you do have to at some point get out here, and because a lot of the networking that I did not happen in the city. I would every year spend about $1,200 and go to Miami to this conference where PDs from across the country would meet up, and I would create relationships with these people. That's how I got to where I am right now. I left, I ventured out, even if it was temporary. I went and I talked to these people. I hated it. I hate networking so much. I hated it so much, but I did it. I got up and I did it, and it was awkward, and I said awkward shit, which is just so on brand for me to do and say awkward shit, but I did it. And it sucked. But damn it, I did it. And you will too. As soon as you're ready. No sooner.
That's heavy. Every now and again I get these interviews where I'm interviewing them, but the person is speaking like to my soul directly, and you're doing that. And I appreciate you. I really appreciate you. You're just confirming what I had an inkling of what I needed to do. So
do it. Like again, and maybe tomorrow feels way too overwhelming to do it, and you're like, okay, I can't. But as soon as you are completely ready, and ready does not look like all of the pieces are in place. Ready sometimes is I'm figuring it out as I go. I'm throwing shit at the wall in hopes that it'll stick, and sometimes it does. Most of the time it doesn't. Go. And keep be like water, fluid as possible, taking the shape of whatever you need to take the shape of to make that shit happen.
All right. Okay. I hear you. I'm taking heed, because I'm tired of being on the sideline. I had something great happen yesterday.
Yeah.
I was in Walmart, and this lady like purposely bumped her cart into mine.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh shit, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. She's like, baby, I was messing with you. Hey, you're Sirr. And I'm like, yes, I am. You know what I'm saying? Like that like lit a fire in me.
Yeah.
You know, and I it isn't so much as recognition, it
feels like confirmation.
Yes.
I feel like that every time somebody pulls up on me and they like, I love your show. I listen to your show. I love your voice, especially I love your voice. I love your voice. That will never be an old compliment for me. I was born with this voice, and meanwhile, it is the money maker. But yeah, like it's the confirmation that you are walking in your desire. Because I very seldom use the word purpose, because again, like I feel like we started doing that with some predestination ass shit, and it's like it. But I feel differently about predestination than most people. So.
Okay. I see where that's going.
Yeah. I try to steer clear of a lot of the conversations because, yeah.
All right, that just means you're gonna have to come back on the show so we could talk shit.
Okay. Listen, I am a preacher's kid, and I grew up Southern Baptist, so
old PKs.
A lot of those teachings, I know them and I know their basis, but I don't fuck with them.
Yo, word to fucking mother, bruh. I'm not a PK, but I was one of those kids that was sheltered, and the only place I could go to was church. And I saw so much shit that it's not that I'm against religion. I'm against the constitution of church. And what I mean is these individuals who pass judgment on other people and misinterpreting the word.
That's what I have a problem with. Christian supremacy, which is in alignment with white supremacy. And so many of the teachings in Christianity benefit pale-skinned people. They and Black people eat them up, while meanwhile it keeps a foot on our necks. It demonizes the very things that we are. But again, it's so well camouflaged that you just that you don't know it until you know it. Like there have been so many times where I have realized certain things about religion, and I was like, how did I miss that? Because it was right there, like it's common sense. But that's what happens when you are so ingrained, when you are so well conditioned with a thought process.
So now that we're here, I have to ask this, and I promise we won't dwell too long, but I have to ask.
Okay.
So the whole Creflo Dollar thing with him and the tithing, you know, admitting that, yo, this is an old practice. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was shocked because I was like, Black people didn't know this already? Like y'all didn't know there was different dispensations of times with different sets of rules and laws?
Yeah. And it goes back to the idea that if you behave correctly, you'll get to go to heaven. And if you were ever to do the proper reading, and trust me, I'm going to piss somebody off, because I remember when I was first introduced to another ideology, it pissed me off too. The ancient Hebrews, when they were writing the Bible, never talked about heaven as a destination.
Nope.
It was never somewhere that you went. It was something that you experienced right in this walking life. You experienced it.
Heaven is here.
It's right here every single solitary time you move in alignment. And when you move out of alignment, you experience hell. But it's not somewhere that you go after you die. That's something that we created, right? The very idea that Jesus wasn't Jesus, his name was Joshua. I remember the first time a professor, like I argued this man down, like I was angry because how dare you? His name was damn Joshua. When I started doing those readings and realized like so much of the translations, so many other translations just screw it up. And it goes back to Creflo Dollar. part of me is like, well, I'm glad that Creflo was able to put his pride to the side and say out loud he messed up.
Right.
One part of me is a little suspicious of why.
Why now?
Why at all? And
Mm.
remember how you have created your legacy off of guilting people into tithing, like many other ministers of the gospel have taken from people who didn't have. And not that you like necessarily victimize them. It's the ideology that allowed all of us to become a victim of giving what we did not have in order to
Correct.
be blessed, in order to stay in alignment, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what do you give now? Now that you have taken and you realize that you have taken what does not belong to you, what do you give now? And don't tell me to go burn the damn books and tapes and stuff. I already paid for this shit. I drop it off somewhere and get reimbursed. No. Oh, why now?
Mm-hmm.
I'm very skeptical of the situation, but it is what it is. But just like a lot of how my friends and I have talked about tithing, that it wasn't always like a monetary thing.
Nope.
I have gifts, and if I am responsible with how I give my gifts to other people, I have sown into you. I have tithe.
Yep. You can tithe with time. Acts works. Yep.
I will give up my time, talent, and I will pray that all may know God is love. That is a Sunbeam pledge, and you had to be there for it.
Yo.
That is my church kid coming out.
It's so refreshing to speak to someone who's open enough and not afraid to state how they feel about that particular topic, because in my podcast, it's not just myself. It's about 6 of us. Yeah. And some of us are more spiritual than others. Some of us are more religious than others. We still respect each other's, point of view.
Different opinions,
and it's good to have that. I feel like it's a great way to remain well-rounded. You don't want a bunch of people that just agree with you all the time. So
I think it's scary, though. It's scary to have when the majority, again, because Christianity has become supremacy, it's scary to try and fight it, or to even say out loud, no, that's not okay. But I do it because there have been so many people who look just like me who have said, oh my God, now I feel a weight lifted. And now I feel like I can actually go and study this honestly, because I took the blinders off and was willing to see that maybe baby Jesus was not born of a Virgin Mary. Maybe Mary was out here, popping for pimp, or maybe somebody took advantage of Mary. This wasn't some type of immaculate conception. Scientifically, something happened. And that was during a time where if Mary had said out loud, somebody penetrated the space, she could have been killed. She would have been killed. Therefore, the story that, whoops, what a miracle and a surprise, worked so much better to save her life and to save that baby who eventually, like Martin Luther King, risked it all so that people could move forward from under a regime that was, beating down their backs and oppressing them.
Yep.
Let's look at that realistically, because we think of Jesus as this savior, but he was politically murdered.
Yep.
He was politically murdered. Okay, so now we can talk about that, because we've moved past what a wonderful gift he gave. Let me tell you something. God had the right one, because I'll be like, I'm not down for these niggas. Impossible.
Yo, straight up.
Impossible.
Do you remember?
I'm pretty sure, because there are even passages where Jesus was like, God, do you see these niggas?
Yo, all right. So let's keep it a bean. Let's keep it all the way above. I tell niggas this shit all the time, and I say niggas all the time, so excuse me.
Me too.
But Jesus ran with a clique of real niggas. Like, let's keep it all the way a bean. These were not just upstanding individuals. Some of these niggas was hotheads.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They were messy ass humans. Messy ass humans. And I'm pretty sure Jesus had some messiness going on too. But you know what? Just like Martin Luther King, we figured out how to erase that from history.
Right.
Just like Malcolm X, we figured out how to erase that from history, because our leaders can't look messy.
Nope. They can't.
You got to give them a God complex.
Yeah, they got to be larger than their actual lives. 100%, 100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, with big homie Jay, I found it funny that he got mad at the Pharisees for selling shit in the temple, and he fought a nigga or two. He flipped tables, whipped a few
down with the
niggas.
Jesus that flip tables. That's the one I want to roll with. I don't want to roll with the passive one that everybody keeps trying to brand. I like the Jesus that be flipping tables out here. Like, y'all niggas done fucked up now. We're not doing this. That is Jesus.
That's
the one who would have saw a gay person and been like, oh, so you so righteous because you down with my daddy, but you don't fuck with him. Oh, you don't really fuck with my daddy,
right?
If you ain't fooling with him, you ain't fooling with me either. You can't sit with us.
Right.
That Jesus.
That one.
Yeah. That turned around and said, nah, America is a burning house, and I'm not running into that one because all you want to quote is I have a dream. But you forgot he said I changed my mind.
He did.
That was a nightmare.
They smooth gloss over that. And the fact that they play that speech on his holiday over and over and over, it feels like they're saying, I want y'all to remember this Martin Luther King, not the other.
That is an easier, palatable. It continues to fuel the system that is supremacy. It continues to fuel it. That is not by mistake. That's by design.
Yep. I need y'all to be passive. I don't want you to raise up. I need you to keep saying we'll hold hands and be judged on our character, which we're still not, by the way.
Because who the hell is making the rules about character? All of these, the polite politics, who decided the standard? Don't even send me down the road of this whole femininity and masculinity, because femininity is based on white women, and clearly I'm not finna do no white woman shit because I'm not a white woman. So listen, I can talk shit about everything all day long.
Look, I'm here for it.